Hey everybody, just wanted to do a correction here. So during the video I point out that I got this new roll of laminate film, which is 30 inch by 50 yards, 150 feet, and I couldn't remember the product number when I was ordering, or when I ordered it. So this is Prism Jet 101, and it is a semi-gloss film. And it actually is really nice. These are done with it here, and they're smooth. It's a semi-gloss. No complaints at all about that laminate. But yeah, during the video, I mentioned how I got it, but I couldn't remember the product number. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and enjoy the video. Hello everybody, welcome to Down to Stick with James. Today's video is going to be pretty standard. I'm just going to show you how I set up my daily prints for the day. Nothing really new, but so I did make, so I have this decal here. Normally it's got the Punisher skull with We the People in the middle of it. So this skull with the flag is really popular, so I wanted to make one with that. So I'm going to run through that, show you how I did that. This is my color version. Had to use white background because of the color. This is the black and white version. But yeah, I wanted to show you too. You can't really see it, but that would have a white border there. But basically rebuilt the whole sticker the same way I did the Punisher one, but yeah, so I'll go into that later. But for now, I need to set up my jobs for the day. So, first one I have is this warning sticker right here. Now they want an 8x5 version. So once I open the first file, I go into my layer option where I have my artboard tab. And then now I'm going to have 18-inch or 20-inch material loaded in the BN-20. So on your width, you're going to want to set, you can set it at 18.5, which I usually do. You want to minus that 1.5 inch for the crop marks, if you're using crop marks. Excuse me. But lately I've just been going to 18. Now on the height, now I have a new roll of laminate, over laminate, which is 30 inches. So I generally set my height to 28. That way I know if I need to use the whole roll of laminate, like from the full length of the laminate is what I mean. Before, I was just cutting off of a 54-inch roll, and that finally ran out. God, that thing lasted me probably a year. But now that I have the 30-inch roll, that's how I do it. So I just set my artboard up at 28. Now you can save this as a template and just open it from there every time you want. This is in Adobe Illustrator, by the way, but yeah. Alright, so let's set that to 8.5. So I'm just going to pull that up here. Actually, I might not even put that there yet. Now the next thing we want to do, here I'm just going to get rid of one of those for now. My next one is my Predator Biomech version. So I'm going to go into my Predator designs here. And where is it at? Where is it at? Predator Biomech. Right here. There it is. Yeah. Okay, that's my Predator Biomech version. And I have made a video on how I make this. But you see my cut contour lines, got my bleed, everything. That's the final design there, of the final template, I guess. Really love that one. Alright. Now I'm just going to go ahead and hit Control A to select all, Control C. Go back over to this one, hit Control V to paste it. And now it's here. Okay, now the customer wants it at 12 inches, so I'm going to go 12-inch width. And we'll pull that one first. Now, if you have smaller stickers, I generally, which I'm going to, but the top here is where this will come out of the BN-20 first, up here on top. So if I have, like, say, a bunch of 1-inch stickers, I put those there. And it's just because of how I have my BN-20, and it's just easier to kind of watch it, let those cut first. You don't have so much dangling out the front, but yeah. All right. So now let's pull this over here, and I'm going to hold shift and rotate. Fits nice and snug right in there, okay? Alright, so then I go to my layers tab, which I usually do first. Well, I do it as I go, and I'll show you why. Okay, so I'm going to make a new layer. Make sure that new layer is on top. And that's where I'm going to put all my cut contours. Man, these are old files because the cut contours are gray. That's funny. Haven't made those in a while. I want to check something here. Now my stroke on my contour lines. My stroke on my contour lines, I keep them at 0.5. Alright, let's load the next one. Okay, now that those are in place, next I need the little blue line squares. So, right here. Oh, did I already open it? I did. So this one's usually about 1.5 by 1 inch, and I sell them in packs of 8. And I think I've already got some of these made, but I just haven't looked yet, but I'm gonna look. Now, sometimes I'll run them across because I have scrap pieces of laminate. So I'll run it across. I know I've got one that would run maybe 3 inches. This one being 12. So maybe. So we'll do that. Or what I usually do is I'll throw in here. Throw in here. I just need 8 pieces. But with this one, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we'll set it just below the predator. Then I'll go over. And just go 1, and then from there just hit Control D. Now my listing says 8, but I always send 10. Okay, so that's number 2. Sorry, that's number 3. So this one here, the Punisher version that I was talking about, I do need one of those at 12 inches. So we're going to get rid of a couple of these just to get them out of the way. Alright, let's add the 12-inch version. And they want black, so right here how I named it Punisher W, that's white, Punisher B is black. The clear vinyl version, that's if you print on clear vinyl with basically like a die cut, but it's printed. Then I'll copy all that. Now, like I said, they want 12. That's all I need for today, but I don't like to waste the space over here. Now I do sell a lot of these at 3 inches, so maybe I'll make some more of those, but I haven't ran these yet, these new ones, so I think maybe we'll do a test run here. And we'll do them at 3 inches. Just like this one, I do 3 inches at I sell them in 3-packs, so 3 at 3 inches. And I always separate my artwork from the cut contours in their own layers, and to keep the cut contour layer on top. If you reverse those, it won't read the cut contour files. And make sure you do that before you make copies, otherwise you're going to have all these scattered everywhere. So there's 2 and 3. Okay. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and make a 3-inch version. Okay, now like I said, my laminate roll will fit exactly to that job. So next I'm going to save it. I have a specific folder for orders. We'll go to March. Then I just name it. I name it what the material is. 18-inch 203 standard. Then I do page 1 or part 1. Because sometimes I'll need to run another one on the same date folder, so that'll be part 2. I save them as EPS, but you can save as PDF. I can't remember the other formats, but I've tried PDF. Doesn't really make a difference when it loads in the machine, to me. Okay, now that's ready to go into the BN-20. This is my VersaWorks. I already got my presets for the decals. So I've already loaded the material, so everything's ready to go there. But first thing I do is I start in layout. I hit get media width. That's the only time I'll hit that. All my settings here are good. They don't need to be changed. Now in quality, I've noticed down here in the preset, I'll use True Rich Color if I have a lot of color. Like it actually will make a difference on this blue and that red. But I don't need them to be, I mean, they're fine with just a regular CMYK setting. Next I jump down to marks, make sure I got my crop marks. Again, you can mess around with trim marks, no marks, that type of stuff. I always leave it at no marks because my files are really random. Cut contour, cut controls, sorry. I'll go to cut only. I check these 2 boxes, return to origin. The reason I check the cutting conditions, I always change mine to 55. It's just where I have my needle set for at the moment. Also, you want to check your file, make sure you got all your contours. Now see that new one doesn't have the cut, so there's something wrong there. So I need to go back and see what happened. Always good to check that. Okay, let's just highlight one of them. Now see over here, I don't have a cut contour line. So I must have, let me see where that's at. Yeah, maybe I didn't make that one when I made the, because I just made it last night. Wow. Okay. Actually, no, it's here. I can see it right there. So what happened? Let's see. Let's copy it again. Get rid of these. We'll go to 3 inches. Bring that up. Now let's check that cut contour line, but we'll highlight it, look up here. And that could be what's wrong right there. That stroke is only 0.1. 0.1, so let's bring that to 0.5. And then we'll do our 3 copies again. I always straighten them out. It doesn't really have to be, but it makes it easier to cut if you're using a ruler and if these are all crooked, it's going to be hard to line them up. Okay. It's kind of weird. I'm going to save this. We'll see what happens. So back in the file here, I've got it loaded back into VersaWorks, and as you see, all the contours are there now. I must have just not have copied it, or it was that stroke. How I told you the stroke was 0.1, not sure, but either way, it's there, so we're good. Go back to print only, go to layout. Now I just reloaded this job, so I just got to run through these steps again. Okay, we're good to go. So hit OK. Hit print. Oh wait, before I do that, in case something happens, I always save the VersaWorks version of that same file. Sometimes I'll leave the job hanging out of the BN-20 and my computer might restart or something, so now you have that file saved and there won't be any problems with your cuts being off. Okay, we're good to go. Once that prints, we'll pull it out, laminate it, and ship them off. Okay, so as you can see, everything is done, printed, good to go. So we need to laminate. And I wanted to show you my new laminate here. So this is a 30-inch roll. I can't remember which laminate it is. I believe it's by Prism Jet though. But it's a semi-gloss. So what I do here, I try to make my jobs at least 28 inches since that's 30 inch. Now, the way that I've got my table here, I've got this marked at, says 18 inch, which means, for me that means 18 inch width of the BN-20 job. So what I'll do is I'll line up my laminate down here right at the first line on this grid. And I really don't need the job to be under it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it, and I know that the cut is straight down here, straight enough. I'll say that. Now another thing you can do is line up your line here, which will make it, you know, because if you don't, it is going to be crooked down here. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. Alright. So that's straight, okay? Now, I'll take this ruler and I'll line it up here to my 18-inch mark, and I already know that's going to be over here, but I've also got it marked down there in a few spots here. So let's go ahead and line that up there. Yeah, so it just needs to be about there. Alright, so we'll cut this. And I just roll back my laminate. Okay, so that's cut straight from there to the other edge. We'll take our job. Now I'm just going to put this on top. Now, you'll see, I don't know if you can see through the laminate, but there's my crop mark there, and then down here, here's one. So that fits, you know, you see it here, got about, oh, maybe a 1/4 inch. Other side about 1/2 inch, so perfect fit. I like that better. I mean, I was getting used to that 54-inch roll, the way I was doing it, but this way I'm not wasting a lot of the over laminate. Alright, now I'm going to bend the camera so you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to peel back the laminate itself. I'm going to fold the paper underneath. And line that up. Then I'll just gently press with my fingers. Once I got that, I'll just take my roller. And you don't have to do this part. It's probably overkill, but I do it because I got little ticks, you know. Alright. So next up, we're gonna load this in the cold laminator. Well, first let me see if I got them. I usually put them tight when I do a large die cut decal. I'll run it through here with the transfer tape just to give it a nice fresh, or nice even layer of pressure. Okay, so that's ready to go. So I'm gonna have to, actually I'm gonna move this over a bit so I can put the camera down so you can watch it. Doesn't always do this down here, but see how that went underneath that thing there? Okay. Alright, so next you want to grab your laminate, fold it back. Now here's a good point in the job to make sure everything's clean. So I just get an air duster, blow everything off. Okay, now that piece that you folded, you can go ahead and pull that back and just gently roll till you get about maybe, let me turn this a little bit back here. I get enough where I can grab it with this hand. I'll pull on this and pull this part back as I'm pulling. So there I go. So I'm pulling. Okay, that's all laminated, and what I used to run it back through and then tighten it just to give it a little more pressure, but everything looks good. I mean, the pressure I had on it was perfect. But I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is my Biomech Predator. Pretty cool looking, huh? That's a popular one. That's the 12-inch. Okay, so I'm gonna load this in the BN-20 and then we'll cut it and weed it. Alright, so everything's all done. Yeah, I'm kind of noticing like a flickering in the camera, so I'm gonna look at that when I do the editing. But yeah, so this is a cutting mat I bought from Hobby Lobby, and it's got a few jobs on it. So we're gonna take these off. I always turn this upside down. It's easier than peeling it off the front. Alright, so we'll put these aside for now. Get our knife. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video that these three were supposed to be that new design that I made. I wasn't even paying attention, but I put these Punisher ones on there, so I apologize for that. I do sell the crap out of these, so I will use them. But yeah, I totally thought it was my new design, so oh, forgive me. I have a bad memory and a brain. Okay, let's see how that cut. Look at that, boom. So we'll go ahead and cut a little bit off here. Now watch how nice this just comes right up. Look at that. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I tend to kind of cut pieces off as I go. If I'm in the mood, I'll add weed lines where that whole line of these blue squares would have had a weed box. But didn't do it that time. The Predator, you got to be a little more careful around because there's a lot of separate parts. But look at that, it's coming right up. Very nice. I think right here too, I'll cut this. Yeah, we'll just cut this across here. Take that right up, comes right up, look at that. Very nice. And then we'll take this, bring this up. I always kind of bounce it when I do it. Take the Predator's eyes out. See, the way I built this file, so when I weed and I pull this, it's going to pull this piece with it. I left just enough in there for that to happen. Yeah, this is my final template for these Predators. I've got a clip mask version of it. I can drop any pattern in there now, and it's ready to go. I used to just save one file with all the different images in the clipping mask layer, but I found it's easier where the ones I sell the most, I'll make it their own listing folder. But that's it for that. Just got to cut them out, ship them. All these will be saved, I believe. No, actually, I don't have these sold yet, but they will. But the only one that needs transfer tape will be that Predator because we got these separate parts. Actually, that's all one big piece, but these are barely attached. I mean, there's a tiny little spot right there where it's attached. But I think I'll show you. I'll tape that up and show you. Okay, so first thing I do is we'll cut it out. Be careful not to cut through your other jobs there. Wanted to show you something else real quick. Let me get this off here. Okay. Did I not straighten those out? Because that doesn't look straight to me. What I'm talking about is this row here. I'm actually curious about that. What do we got there? About 3.5 almost. Wow. So normally when I'm setting up the job, I'll highlight all these, and then I hit the alignment tool so they're all straight. So when you're doing this, it is nice and straight. But I didn't do that. See, that's not. Yeah, like these three and these three don't line up. I tell you, I'm getting more and more worried about my my thought process, my memory. I actually, at my regular job, I have a locker. Well, I've been going there almost a year. And every day I open my locker. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I went to get in my locker. I couldn't remember the combination. And, you know, I've been doing this every day for, but, went to the office, have them give me the combination, and the numbers that she wrote down, they weren't familiar to me at all. So it's like my combination to my locker was just completely erased from my memory. Little worrying, and that's not the only example. I have quite a few, but yeah. What do you do, right? I'll actually be turning 51 years old in this weekend. Yeah, this coming weekend, March 31st. Wow. Okay. So this guy's ready to ship. I'll be. They actually bought another decal. It'll be "We the People," the skull flag. They'll be packing together, so we'll put that away for now. Okay, so this one here, it's really close to the edge of that. Normally, in some cases, I'll have to peel it up, drop it back down up here a little bit, but it does. I do have just enough room to cut it off. In case you're wondering too, I have this paper cutter over here. This is where I do all my trimming. Just be careful, make sure you're watching where you cut. There's that one, 8x5. I have some 3-inch ones somewhere around here. I'll probably throw in a free one with that one. Okay, so let's tape this guy up. Now, this is a 12-inch job here. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a little bit off the top here. Okay, so we'll get our Transferite medium tack transfer tape here. And then I'll just turn this upside down, drop it down right on the edge, cut a little bit close as you can to the paper. Alright, need my squeegee. Where's my squeegee? Oh, there's so much crap under that thing. Alright, I always rub the back before I hit the top, but I feel like there's a bubble in there. Yeah, see those bubbles? Be real careful when if you're masking your BN-20 jobs. So they do sit a little higher than the Oracle. So if you're going too fast with a squeegee, you can actually bump up against the sticker under there and gouge the transfer tape. Now I'm going kind of with the grain here, so it's okay to go a little faster, but okay. And I really wish that the whole copyright thing wasn't as bad, because I love listening to my music when I'm doing this. I'm a big fan of like Viking music. Okay, so that one's ready to go. One thing you can do, and this is definitely what I do if I use the high-tack vinyl, is I make sure it's going to come up, because the high-tack vinyl, you actually got to get under there with a blade to release it off the backing paper. If you send it that way to a customer, they're going to be pretty pissed. Okay, that one's ready. Now these are these little silver, like a Celtic knot with a pentagram in it. These guys, they have just a crap ton of little detail in them, but they're pretty easy to weed. I'll show you. And these are cut from my Oracle 651 silver. I always keep new blades in my X-Acto knives. I always start, there's these little pieces on each tip that I'm taking out. I always start with these. Okay, almost ready. Okay. So then you just choose which end you want to start at. I'll start here, and then I'll cut off one end, and then this whole thing's just going to come right up if everything goes right. Okay, see how I lost that piece there? So you got to be careful, because there's a lot of pieces here. Don't get greedy. Don't try to take more than you know. If you feel like you're holding too much, it's okay to cut it off and start with a new piece as you're weeding. See how I'm bouncing there? That is a really nice technique to learn, because for the most part your vinyl will stay down on the paper as you're picking everything up. Come on, baby, come on. Now this end here didn't want to go right here, so I'm going to just go ahead and being stubborn or what? Okay. Alright, and then we just got these pieces on the inside of the star. Now since this one I had actually used with clear vinyl, where I'll put clear vinyl behind it. So it's got a weed line around it. Oops, easy Wilbur, easy. I'll show you what I mean with that. I ran out of my clear, so that's why I'm not doing it with this one. For some reason, with this particular design, I get a lot of complaints of people that have trouble putting it on. Okay, so there's that one. I always cut two when I make these, just in case I lose a piece. I can pull one off here, but if not, I'll weed this one out, and if everything goes good, then I'll just send both to the customer. But we'll set that aside for now. Okay, now over here, we got the skull flags. Okay, there's those guys there. I've got to make one more for this order, but that's that one. Next up, we got the We the People skull flag, white vinyl. Okay, there's that guy, all done, ready to go. Now, one thing on this end here, I don't know if you can see, but on the edge of the W up here, it got cut off. So what I'm going to do is just take my knife and just cut a straight edge on that. See that? That's fine. No big deal. I think the customer would be okay with that than overall having it smaller to accommodate that tiny little piece. Okay, that's what I got for today, and then I'll pack them up and ship them, and yeah, all right.